कश्चित् कान्ता विरहगुरुणा स्वाधिकारात् प्रमत्तः शापेनास्तङ्गमितमहिमा वर्षभोग्येन भर्तुः यक्षश्चक्रे जनकतनया स्नानपुण्योदकेषु स्निग्धच्छाया तरुषु वसतिं रामगिर्याश्रमेषु त्वामारूढं पवनपदवीम् उद्गृहीत अलकान्ताः प्रेक्षिष्यन्ते पथिकवनिताः प्रत्ययाद् आश्वसत्यः कस्सन्नद्धे विरहविधुरां त्वयि उपेक्षेत जायां न स्यादन्योऽप्यहमिव जनः यः पराधीनवृत्तिः. So the Yaksha tells him about his helplessness here. So he says, there can be no other person other than me who is helpless right now because I am paradhina vrittihi. My vritti is dependent on somebody else and I have to follow whatever they say. So I cannot... that's why I'm forced to right now upeksha. I'm forced to ignore my wife right now, even though I'm separated and I'm in love with her. Anybody who is in love with his wife would not ignore her at a time like this, which is Varsha Kalam. So the moment the Varsha Kalam comes in, Pathikaha, all the travelers want to go back and reunite with their wives. They cannot move out for those 2+ months, so they would like to stay with their wives at that point of time, right? 2 months definitely, plus because during the beginning of Sharad Rutu sometimes the waters have still not receded and it's marshy. Kalidasa explains it in Ritusamhara, where it is slowly the marshiness goes off and dries up, but it takes a long time. So until then the husband and wife are happy to be with each other at home. Next one. Kartum yacha prabhavati mahim uchchilindram avandhyam tachritva te shravana subhagam garjitam manasotkaha a kailasat bisa kisalayat cheda patheyavantaha sampatsyante nabhasi bhavato rajahamsas sahayaha. Rajahamsaha, the swans which have migrated from the Manasa, they now have to go back towards Kailasa. This is the transmigratory birds that we are talking about. So I don't know if swans in reality are transmigratory birds or not. But the way he's saying is, swans are seen accompanying the clouds as it travels to the north. So until Kailasa, Rajahamsas are supposed to be found near Manasarovar, the Manasa lake, which is very close to Kailasa. So we all know about that from, I guess, the 70s, 80s, when it started becoming slowly popular, this Kailas Manasarovar Yatra. Right? So to go to Kailasa and Manasarovar, so it's very close by. From the Manasarovar, you can actually see the Kailasa mountain sometimes, depending on the weather. So these Rajahamsaha, they are going to travel with the cloud until Kailasa right now. Okay. Kartum yacha prabhavati mahim. Yat mahim uchchilindram avandhyam kartum prabhavati. Tat shravana subhagam te garjitam shrutva. How do the Rajahamsas know that the cloud is here? Te garjitam shrutva. Having heard your thunder, they immediately come because they are now eager to go back to Manasarovar. These Hamsa, te garjitam shrutva. How is that thunder right now? Shravana subhagam. It's very pleasing to hear. It's very perspective. If you see some people who are afraid of that garjitam, there's I think India, I think in Megha Sandesham, somewhere later he will talk about how the Siddhanganaha, not in this, go and, go show yourself to those women. The Siddhas will feel very happy towards you. Because the moment you show your thunder, you sound your thunder and your lightning, the women folk will feel very afraid and they'll come and immediately embrace their husbands. So the husbands will feel very happy towards you. So they will look at you with anugraha chakshu. This is one shloka that comes later. So some people are actually scared of thunder that way. Whereas here he says Shravana Subhagam because it's a perspective. The Rajahamsa when they hear the thunder, they immediately are reminded of the, okay, there is going to be rainy season now. I have to go back to Manasarovar, so I'm eager to go back to my home place. Right? So this thunder is like an alarm clock, which is good alarm, not the alarm clock that wakes us up at Monday morning to go to office. No, that's not the thing here. So Shravana Subhagam, that which is very lovely to the ears, and it is also capable of making this bhumi Sasyashyamala, making it Avandhya. Avandhya nama barren land. Avandhya nama, it is giving it that fertility. So the clouds give you rains which make the bhumi extremely fertile. But the first thing that comes out are not the crops or sasyam or anything. It is the mushroom that comes out. So Uchchilindram Avandhyam Mahim Karthum. In order to make the earth Mahim, Uchchilindram Udgatani Shilindrani Yasyam Sa. So I think he takes a different thing. Udgatam Shilindram Uchchilindram. But if you split it down, then Udgatani Shilindrani Yasyam, in whom mushrooms are grown. Shilindra is Shilindrangardu. I don't know how the Vyutpatti comes. It's an interesting word. So Uchchilindram Avandhyam cha Kartum, in order to make this bhumi with the mushrooms and to make it also very fertile, tat shrutva kartum yat prabhavati, that which is capable of making it really fertile. Tat shrutva, having heard that Shravana Subhagam, that pleasing, the Garjitam which is pleasing to the ears, tat shrutva manasotkaha, immediately the Rajahamsa, the swans are utkaha nama utsaha yuktaha, they are eager to go outsukyam vartate teshamiti. So manasa utsukaha manasam prati manasa sarovara gamana utkantha yuktaha. Utkanthangartha, we say avallangarolya. So those they're extremely eager and longing to go and visit the Manasarovar. They could not go till now because it was too cold. Now it is a fine time to go probably, or the other way around. I don't know. They keep moving here and there. So Manasarovara gamana utkantha yuktaha. So what do? Now it's a long journey that they have to do. The cloud is going to start from southern Deccan Plateau and go to Kailasa, all the way up to Kailasam where Alakapuri is, until Kailasa. Manasarovar is right outside Kailasa. So until that place, they are going to accompany you. For them to accompany, they have to take Patheyam. Patheyam nama Pathi Sadhu Patheyam, that which is very beneficial for the path. So in those days, there were no hotels or anything, and especially for Rajahamsas, you can't find hotels everywhere. So these swans have to take food with them as they travel through the skies. So they take these patheya, something in the form of okay, your doubt. Okay, Utkantha is both Ekam Aval. Depending on the context, you can take it as either eagerness or longing. Context. So here I would say they long to be back in Manasarovara. Hence they are also eager. Both are fine in this manner. If you don't have that longing, you're not going to be eager to go and meet. It conveys that there is that hetu of longing inside you. That difference is only in both Tamil or English, but in Samskritam it's the same word. Utsuka iti. Yatha bhavastu tatra samanaha eva. Manasotkaha. Now they are taking food for travel. Bisa kisalayat cheda patheyavantaha. Patheyavan, they are carrying something to go on the way, and they have taken those lotus stalks which are very soft. Bisa kisalaya, Bisa Kisalayam or Bisanam Kisalayani. Bisam Nama, the lotus stalk, and Kisalaya is the very tender stalks. And the Tesham Cheda, they are taking small bits and pieces of those very tender lotus stalks. Swans are supposed to be fond of this, and Kalidasa refers to this, and in general it is a Kavi Samaya that is accepted, and that they take this as Patheyam is mentioned. Kalidasa has mentioned it in Vikramorvashiyam also. So Bisa Kisalaya Cheda Patheyavantaha Rajahamsaha. Several adjectives for Rajahamsa. Manasotkaha, they're eager to go to Manasarovar, and then they have taken these lotus shoots, very tender lotus shoots, parts of it as patheyam, as travel food for them, and then Rajahamsaha, these royal swans, Nabhasi, in the Akasha, Bhavataha Sahayaha Sampatsyante Nabhasi Bhavataha Rajahamsa Sahayaha, until Kailasa Paryantam, they are going to be your companions, so go with them. Munnadi Nadula, there is another shloka, the Rajahamsas and Balakaha. Cranes also give company for the clouds, because the moment the clouds are there, there are cranes wide. The idea is, see, when a rain cloud is there, it is very dark, and hence if you have swans or cranes flying around, you can spot them immediately because of the contrast. The swans are white and the rain cloud is dark, so it is very easy to spot them. And Kalidasa, being a master observer, he sees those, and he is given it in the form of a shloka here. Right? So Kartum Yacha Prabhavati Mahim Uchilindra Mavadhyam. So Prabhavati here, that which has the capability of making this bhumi very avandhya, in the sense very fertile. Kartum Yacha Prabhavati Mahim Uchilindram Avandhyam Tachritva te Shravana Subhagam Garjitam Manasotkaha Akailasa Bisakisalaya Cheda Patheyamantaha Sampatsyante Nabhasi Bhavato Rajahamsa Sahayaha. Okay. Next is, I don't think there is any Alankara here. Sure. Apricchasva priyasakhamam tungam alingya shailam Mandeh pumsam raghupati padaihi ankitam mekhalasu Kale kale bhavati bhavato yasya sanyogametya sneha vyaktischira virahajam munchato bashpa mushnam. Apricchasva priyasakham amum. Now he is telling him, you take leave of your friend here. That is the Tungam Alingya Shailam. Shailam Apricchasva. Shailam Tungam Alingya Amum Priyasakham Apricchasva. Take leave of your beloved friend here after tightly embracing the Shikharam. Shailam Tungam Shailam. This is a very tall peak in which you are standing. So conventionally, Kavi Samaye Katham Vartate iti chet, the mountains are supposed to be friends of clouds, because the clouds go and rest on the mountains and pour water on the mountains. So there is a friendship that is there between the two of them. And then with a Nadi, it is a Nayika Nayaka Bhava. So this is the main thing that Kalidasa conventionally adopts to describe both mountains and Nadi. He will also say in another shloka, Adena Kinna Kinna Shikarishu Padam Nyasya Gantasi Yatra Srota Samcha Upabujya Abdinvaro. There is another shloka there where whenever you are tired, take rest with your friend, spend the night with your friend, and then whenever you are tired, derive some energy from the Nadi, take in water from the Nadi. So this is the Kavi Samayam that is accepted. So Amum Priyasakham, he is talking about the mountain here. Shailam, Amum, Shailam, Tungam, Shailam, Priyasakham, Asakam, Alingya. having embraced this dear friend of yours, which is this mountain, Ramagiri, and aprachasva, taking leave, take leave of him. Okay. Vandyai pumsam raghupati padaihi ankitam mekalasu. This ankitam is also another adjective to Shaila. How is it not only that it is your great friend, it is also a Punya Parvatam where Rama has travelled here. His the Mekhala, so all of the Madhya regions, the plateau regions or the slopes of which Mekhala is usually the waist portion, or Mekhala is a hip chain that women wear. So when you talk about Mekhala in a Parvatam, it is the middle regions where people can walk. Going to the peak, probably only one person can stand. You can't put even a hut there in the peak. So if you want to travel and stay in a mountain, then you have to occupy the middle regions, which is the Mekhala. So Mekhalasu Vandyaihi Pumsam Vandyaihi Raghupati Padaihi Ankitam Shailam Alingya. This mountain which has been Ankitam, Chinhitam, it is being marked on its slopes by the footprints of Raghupati, of Rama, whose footprints are actually Pumsam Vandyehi. Rama Paduka, a lot of people have these pratima in their houses, in their puja griham. Rama Paduka Pratima. So Paduka, why is it famous? So because of Bharata here. He asked for Paduka, and Paduka ruled the Rajyam for 14 years. When Rama was absent, it was Rama's Paduka which ruled. So that's why Vedanta Deshika has written 1,000 shlokas on that Paduka called Paduka Sahasram. Beautiful set of shlokas. He apparently wrote it within a night, a few hours. He composed on. So the challenge was to compose an entire work within a day, 24 hours. He was given 24 hours, but he didn't take 24 hours. And it should not be on Shringara. That was the challenge for him. And it should be on just one single theme. So he took up Rama Paduka as the theme, and he has written around 32 Paddhatis, if I remember right. The one Paddhati is also Chitra Paddhati, where it is filled with Chitra Alankaras. And Rama Paduka has so much of importance in it. The way he describes, one is the Subhashita Paddhati, where everything is connected with the Subhashitam, but the first three will be about the Paduka. Very, very interesting work to study, you know. So, Pumsam Vandyaihi, Rama Paduka, which is Vandyam, which is where honored by people. Tadrisha Raghupati Padaihi Ankitam. This, the slopes of which are, Rama resided on this mountain, so the slopes are Ankitam. They are marked by the footprints of Rama. Kale, Kale, at during this Varsha Kalam, whenever you come here, Yasya Shailasya Samyogam Etya Bhavataha Ushnam Bashpam Munchataha Bhavataha Kale Kale Ushnam Chira Virahaj Kale Kale Bhavati Kale Kale Bhavataha Samyogam Etya Sneha Vyaktihi Bhavati. Okay, I was trying to see where the main thing is. So, Kale Kale, at every time, every Varsha Kale, Samyogametya, Yasya Bhavataha Samyogametya, I think his Anvaya is very different here. It should be Yasya Samyogametya Bhavataha Bashpam Ushnam Virahajam Munchataha Bhavataha Samyogam Etya Yasya Sneha Vyaktihi Bhavati Tam Amum Priyastungam Shailam Alingya Aprachasva. So the connection should be that way. 1 minute. Let me just pause and check. Yeah, okay. So what's happening here is Yasya Sneha Vyaktihi Bhavati Amum Shailam. So that is the connection here. You don't need to have this separate line. So, Kale Kale Bhavataha Samyogam Etya. What happens is the cloud comes there and sits down. It rains, yes. But the moment it leaves, the residual rain that is there, it falls on the Ramagiri mountain till now there has been Grishma Kalam. So Grishma Kalasya Atapaha tu tatra shaile vartate. Usually it takes a long time for the mountains to cool down, and the para ella irukku, the stones and everything, it takes a long time for it to cool down. So when rain falls on those stones, the water that comes from the stones are very hot, if you see. So it's not a very cool water that flows. It should take a longer rain for it to come down, because it is immediately after Grishma Kala. So that is why it is as if the mountain itself is letting go of hot tears as the cloud goes away. So bhavataha samyogam etya, having gotten your they have spent a lot of time right now, both the cloud and the mountains have spent a lot of time. So bhavataha samyogam etya, having met you afterwards, chira virahajam bashpam ushnam munchataha yasya shailasya. So this shaila next, the mountain, it flows tears which are hot, and chira virahajam, because it is going to be separated for a long time from the cloud. It has to travel to the north. It has spent its enough time here. So now that it is going to go to the north, it's as if the mountain is letting go of hot tears, which is chira virahajam, which comes out of long separation. Munchataha, as it releases these tears, yasya shailasya sneha vyaktihi bhavati. The mountain now seems to vyakti, it shows its sneha, the show of friendship that is there, the show of affection that is there with the mountain is seen right now. So shailasya eva prema avirbhavaha bhavati ityuktam atra. So snigdhanam, if you are very close, then you have tears. And there is another thing also associated with it. If it is tears out of separation and out of dukkham, then it is very hot. If it is because of happiness, then the ananda ashru is very cool to the cheeks. So this has been described in some kavyas like that. In Raghuvamsha also he says shokoshnaihi parthiva ashrupihi iti. When the arrangements for the Pattabhishekam has been done, Kalidasa uses the word shokoshnaihi. Ushnam bashpam tu tatra vartate parthivasya dasharathasya taihi shoka ushnaihi bashpaihi saha kalushi chakarati. He completely pollutes the Abhisheka water with his tears, because when a nice good thing is happening, you don't cry during that time. So shokoshnam is usually because of separation. So apricchasva priyasakhamamum tungamalingya shailam vandeh pumsam raghupati pataihi ankitam mekhalasu kale kale bhavati bhavataha yasya sanyogametya sneha vyaktischira virahajam munchato bashpamushnaihi. So I think when you write the Anvaya, you can put this section in the beginning. Kale kale bhavataha samyogam etya chira virahajam ushnam bashpam munchataha yasya sneha vyaktihi bhavati amum priyasakham tungam pumsam vandyehi raghupati padaihi mekhalasu ankitam shailam alingya apricchasva. So take leave of this mountain. Okay. Ramagirehe pranayaha pradhurbhavati iti. This is samasokti here, where the maitri bhavaha, it is the relationship. So you realize how two people, when they have met each other, they have stayed together for a long time, and then they're going to separate, they're each going to different paths. 4 years you have spent in the dorm with one roommate, imagine. And then both of you are out of career, you're going to different cities. And it describes that kind of a scene. It brings that kind of a scene to our mind, but that is not the prastutam. It is the aprastutam. So prastute, aprastutasya spurtihi is samasokti, alankara. Margam tavat shrunu kathayataha tvatprayananurupam संदेशं मे तदनुजलद श्रोष्यसि श्रोत्रपेयं खिन्न खिन्न शिखरिषु पदं न्यस्य गन्तासि यत्र क्षीणः क्षीणः परिलघुपयः स्रोतसां चोपबुज्य. Margam tavat shrunu, hey Jalada, tavat now, in the meantime, before you leave, within that time, right now, Margam Shrunu, listen to the Tvat Prayana Anurupam Margam Tavat Shrunu. Now listen to the path that I'm going to describe right now, which is Tvat Prayana Anurupam. It's very conducive to your travel. So I'm going to tell you not a big path or anything which is completely out of the way. I'm only going to describe the path which you have to take as you go to the north. Okay? Tadanu, afterwards, Shrotrapeyam me sandesham Shroshyasi. Then you have to listen to, you will listen to. Not as in Tvaya Shrotavyam ityeva. Atra Shrotum arhasitvam iti. Then you can listen to the sandesham that I want you to carry, which is Shrotrapeyam, that which is fit to be drunk, music to the ears kind of message. Khinnaha, but as you go, when you are tired, vipsayam tu tatra, as and when you are tired, so whenever, yada khinnaha bhavasi iti, so khinnaha, shikarishu padam nyasya, you place your foot, you take rest on the peaks of the mountains that are there, gantasi, you have to go, you will go. This is in lut future, no? Adane, ama. So gantasi, yatra, wherever you have to go, yatra gantasi, where you will go, but before that, whenever you are tired, you can take rest among the peaks of the mountains that are there, and Bharatadesham is filled with mountains, you can take rest on the peaks that are there. Kshinaha. As you rest on the peaks, you are again going to pour out all your water and you will become very laghu, completely kshina. As and when you become emaciated, khinnaha, shikarishu padam nyasya, when you place your foot there, you are going to pour rain. And then you will become kshinam. Kshinaha. As you become less and less, there are lakes and rivers which are flowing from the mountains which goes down. You can go to the plains and drink the water. Parilaghu payahacha upabujya gantasi. Parilaghu payaha. Very sweet water, or actually here parilaghu is that which is not very heavy to drink. Gurutvam, in the sense, Gurutvam here, if it is filled with rocks or anything, then it will be difficult for you to drink. So Laghu is Sulabham. So Parilaghu can mean that which is very easy for you to access. That Srotasam Payaha, the water of the Nadi, Upabujya, having enjoyed Gantasi, you have to go. Let me check what he says here. Laghu Gurutva Dosha Rahitam. Gurutva dosham na, not with less of salt maybe, yes, gurutvam nama, that makes the whole thing dense, right? The water becomes really dense if it has salt, so you don't need to take water from the samudram, you can take pure good water from this from the lakes, from the very light or wholesome also. Parilaghu can also mean light meal, like how you eat. This is why he uses the word laghu here is because there is a samasokti of a pathika, of a traveler. As a person travels for business, he goes wherever he can find a spot to take rest, he would rest there, and then he would have a light lunch or light dinner. He would never fill his stomach. If you fill your stomach, you will just feel like sleeping. He'll take little bit of food whenever he can and then keep walking. So if you're going to walk for business, if you're traveling, it is better to have light food. So since you are going to undertake a long travel here, whenever you are tired, you take rest, and whenever you are light, whenever you have become very tired, hungry, then you drink the water, which is very wholesome, which is very light also. Yeah. So it says gamana ayasena parishrantim anubhuya kshina shaktihi sanna parvateshu charananyasam kritva आतिकृशः भूत्वा गिरिनदी प्रवाहाणां जलम् उपभुज्य. So गिरिनदीषु च तत्र प्रवाहः अधिकः न भवति. So in the flow will be very fast, but it will be very thin. As it enters the plain, it gets enriched by a lot of water, and it slows down because of the weight of the water. So when it flows down the mountains, it is actually very light and it goes very fast because of gravity. Here he takes it into giving two meanings here for to explain that samasokti here. So atra prastute meghe aprastutasya samanya pathikasya vyavahara samaropena. So a normal traveler, however he will behave, tasya katha atra aropyate samasokti. Okay. Margantavach.
What is the second way, Maudya? You said two ways.
Parilaghu, one meaning is light water. So the other two ways is the second applies to the aprastutam of a traveler who has to take light lunch. So margantavat shrunu kathayatah tatprayananurupam sandesham me tadanu jalada shroshyasi shrotrapeyam khinna shikarishu padam nasya gantasi yatra kshinaha kshinah parilaghupayas srotasam chopabujya. Adresh Shringam Harati Pavanaha Kimsvid Ityunmukhivihi Drishtotsahas Chakita Chakitam Mugdha Siddhanganabhi Stanad Asmat Sarasa Nichulat Utpatodang Mukhakam Dingnaghanam Pathi Pariharan Sthula Hastavalepan. And this is the last shloka that he gives for this. Adrehe. So as you go, you will be seen Chakit Drishta Utsaha Tvam. With great utsaha, with great eagerness, these siddha anganaha, the women folk of siddhas, the siddha women, will look at you. You will attract the attention of them. Drishta utsaha, with great enthusiasm, they will look at you. And at the same time, they will also be a little afraid. Chakita chakitam. Why are they afraid? Because they think that the way with which you are moving, it seems as if you are going to remove the peak of the mountain as you go. That is, it is hugging the peak of the mountain as it is. Actually, if you look at the Western Ghats, if you've traveled there, you will find that the clouds are almost covering the peaks in such a manner that it is completely hugging it. As it moves, you would probably think that it is taking away a portion of the peak there. Adrehe Shringam Pavanaha Harati Kimsvite is the wind removing the peak of the mountain. Iti Unmukhebihi Mukta Siddhanganabihi, by the women who look up to that, to you, to the cloud as you are moving. So Unmukhi nama Udgatam Mukham? Unnatam Mukham. Okay. Unnatam Mukham Yasam Taha. So Tabihi. Iti Ashankaya. They think, Chulunga? Okay, so they would probably look at the mountain and look at you and think that you're actually removing the wind is removing this peak. Abdina, they might look at you, will be looked at by the Siddha women who are innocent. Mugdha Siddhanganavihi. They're very innocent here. So the moment is the wind going to take it away? Iti chakita chakitam. So that is where the fear part comes in. So as it takes, suppose the wind drops it somewhere, what will we do? That sort of a fear loop they go into. So they also look at the cloud with an enthusiasm, and at the same time they are also a little bit afraid, and you are likely to, you can take it as afraid, or you can also take chakitam as surprised. chakitam need not be bhayam. तत्र अद्भुतरसयुक्तम् अपि वक्तुं शक्यते तत्र भयेन एव तत्र चकितस्वभावः भवितुं नार्हति it can also be because of surprise so they are probably looking the very innocent women who look at it with great surprise also amazement तथा दृष्टः त्वं दृष्ट उत्साहः सन् अस्मात् स्थानात् from this place which is Sarasa Nichulat. Sarasa Nichula. It is filled with the Nichulam reeds. So, the Korambo. Sometimes these are those cane kind of plants. So, it is filled with those plants, Sarasa Nichulam. Nichula is a kind of cane that grows in marshy lands. Hence, it is Sarasa. It is very juicy. So, this cane has a lot of Irapasa. It's not a dry bamboo, but it is more wet kind of cane, which is more flexible. So, Sarasa Nichulat, Asmat Sthanat, from this place which is filled with these watery reeds, Utpata Udangmukhaha Tvam Sanna. As you fly, you are flying towards Udangmukhaha, towards the north. Utpatanna, athava Utpata Udangmukhaha. இங்க வந்து எப்படி போடுறாரு அத Utpatodangmukham Utpata okay sorry நான் தான் தப்பா பார்த்துட்டேன் that's the verb here Udangmukhaha nama Uttaradik so facing the north direction he wants the megha to go only to the north right because he wants the yaksha wants it to go to Alakapuri and deliver a message here so Udangmukha sun you face the north and then come Utpata you proceed towards the Akasham here as you go there is another thing also that you have to do try to avoid this Dingnagas are the quarter elephants which protect the different directions. So those directions, as you leave, there are these direction elephants which protect those. They use their trunk to wave. So sthula hasta avalepa. Avalepa nama a kind of actually avalepam na insult. But these elephants are supposed to be huge. They're not like normal elephants. In normal world also, an elephant is a huge animal. So imagine a Diggaja. It is even more bigger than our normal elephants. Even bigger than African elephants, okay? So, tat pramanena eva tesham shundaha api vartante, right? So, the trunk should also be according to their size. So, he is giving the warning here, these elephants actually suck up water from the ocean with their trunks and then they will give it to the clouds so that it is scattered around. This is a kind of a this thing that is there in one of the Vyakhyanam, they say, Asti samudrat adaya jalam dadyat ghanaya taddadyat Vatena preritaha ganaha sthane sthane prithivyam cha kale kale yathochitam. This is quoted in the Vyakhyanam. Kale gives this here. So Hasti, the Diggaja takes the water from the Samudram, it gives it to Ghanaya, Dadyat, it gives it to the clouds being pushed by the wind, it goes to different places and pours rain. So this is the symbolic representation of rain here. Now sthula hasta avalepa nama these elephants are tossing forward the water, right? As it tosses, you should not get hit by the trunk here. You should only receive the water from those elephants. So try to avoid the hasta avalepa. So try to avoid the hitting of those elephants on your pathway as you go. So pathi pariharanna nama atra pivara pariharanna parityajanna varjayitva. You ignore those akshepa, you ignore those hittings or the tossings of those elephants' trunk and try to avoid those and go into the sky and fly. Okay, there is one reference to two people here by Kalidasa, is what some people say. Mallinatha also says this. Nichula and Dingnaga. So Dingnaga is the name of a Buddhist monk who was supposed to have been the rival of Kalidasa. So Nichula is a poet who is a friend or Saha Adhyayi of Kalidasa. So Asmat Sthanat Sarasa Nichulat Sarasaha Saha. He is a great friend. This Nichula who is staying in this place. From here you have to go Udangmukha San. You go towards the north. So you face north for any challenge. You want to achieve things in life, you go towards the north. So in order to achieve, but you avoid Dingnaga, who is he can easily criticize you. He will constantly criticize you on your path, pathi, but try to avoid his criticism and you go straight towards your goal. So this is what some people interpret based on the words Nichula and Dingnaga. How much nobody knows whether Kalidasa really meant to say all these things or not. So yes, it does give water. Yes, criticisms can be helpful also, but they come with a backhand slap. What do you do about that? No? It can be hurtful criticism, but there can be truth in it also. So yes, Adre Shringam Harati Pavaraha Kimsu Rityunmukhi Vihi Drishtotsahas Chakitam tu Atra, you have to take it as a Kriya Visheshanam. So Chakita Chakitam Mukdha Siddhangana Vihi Stana Dasmat Sarasa Nichulatu Utpatavadang Mukhakkam Dingnaghanam Pati Pariharan Sthula Hasta Valepan. Now he will start describing the different places that are there that he has to visit. And then it's a beautiful kavyam. Whenever you can, you should try to figure it out. I mean, read the whole thing. Akashe utpatanna meghaha yaksha sandesham aharanna kubera rajadanim alakapurim prati gantum arabhata. We assume that he started, okay? But he didn't start here. The Yaksha still continues to describe the route for a couple of shlokas, full entire, and then he goes to Uttaramega where he describes the entire Alakapuri, and then you will see my wife. Then this is the message that you have to say. Now you go, and then he leaves. So at the end of this kavya, Khanda kavya only, he leaves. Gantum arabhate iti. Atratu varnayitum arabhate yakshaha. That's all.